Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us today. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A feature on your screen to type your questions to our panelists at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so the panelists cannot see nor hear you. This is the last session of this iteration, so I will make an announcement for what is to come in the next couple of weeks. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available in about a week at stripescan.com/Carolinas. Thank you, and I'd love to turn it over to our first presenter, who is from Eckerd College.
All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Bannon, and I'm an admission counselor at Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, Florida. So if you're looking at a map of Florida, it's about halfway down on the left side, and it's on the Gulf Coast, right on the mouth of the Tampa Bay. So as you can see here, about 2/3 of our campus is surrounded by water. Most of the buildings that you see are residence halls because about 85% of our students will live on campus for all 4 years, because why would you want to live anywhere else? We're a small private liberal arts college of about 1,800 students. And we have quite the diverse pull from all over the country and all over the world. So the average distance that a college student is traveling right now in the US is about 200 or 250 miles. At Eckerd, the average distance traveled is about 1,010 miles. So we like to think that this tells us our students tend to be a little bit more adventurous, a little bit more of risk-taking students, and they also are interested in avoiding what we like to call high school 2.0. So as you can see, quite a few people come from the South. And we also just have a pretty diverse swath of students from all over the place to begin with. So I'm just going to talk to you about a few things that make us really unique. First is our 414 academic calendar. So the 414 academic calendar essentially represents the courses that you're going to be taking through your fall, winter, and spring terms. So in the fall semester, you'll take 4. In the winter term, which is our mini semester, you'll take 1 course. And then in the spring semester, you'll take 4 courses. And as long as you stick to this, you'll have the opportunity to graduate in 4 years. And it's very, very normal at Eckerd College for people to have 1 major and several minors, or more than 1 major. A lot of people will have 2 majors and still a minor. And as long as they stick to the 414, or you can make it 515 for no additional cost, you will graduate in 4 years. Another thing that really makes us super unique is our 3-week-long orientation for first-year students called Autumn Term. So during Autumn Term, which is 3 full weeks before the fall semester starts, it's almost exclusively first-year students on campus. And while you're there, you're going to get to know your professors, you're going to get to know the other people in your class, and of course, you're going to get to know our beautiful waterfront campus. And you're also going to have the opportunity to do things like community service and familiarize yourself with campus resources and potentially even get a job on campus. So Autumn Term, you'll have a seminar style class for 3 hours a day, about 5 days a week, depending on the professor. You'll pick that course before you show up, but you'll pick the rest of your courses for your fall semester when you're actually on campus. So you won't ever have to do any picking of any courses besides your 1 Autumn Term course alone. You'll always have your faculty mentor. I also wanted to talk to you about our majors. So at Eckerd, we are a liberal arts college, which means when you get admitted, you're admitted into our entire program. We have all 41 majors available to you. And no matter how sure you are of what you want to study, you will come in technically undeclared. And you can jump right in to your studies if you know exactly what you want to study, but at the same time, you can also explore, take all other kinds of courses, and really figure it out. So something we're really well known for is marine science as well as environmental studies, but we are a liberal arts and sciences school. So we also have quite a few popular social sciences and arts, such as psychology, creative writing, and interdisciplinary arts or visual arts. We also have the opportunity to design your own major, which a lot of people will take advantage of. So you can basically incorporate coursework that already exists at Eckerd and sometimes even at other institutions, and then also design independent studies with your professors. We are also the pet-friendliest campus in the US and one of the very few campuses in the US with a private beach. So if you want to bring your furry friend or scaly friend or feathery friend or whatever, you can totally do that. If you haven't heard about it already, you should definitely look up the Eckerd Pet Graduation. It's the cutest thing ever, I promise. It's the smallest little diplomas and hats you'll ever see. And another thing that really makes us special is the fact that we're, again, on the water. So we have a waterfront recreation center that almost all students use at least once throughout their year, but most of the time they're going to use it pretty regularly because it's open 7 days a week. You can learn how to sail. You can go wakeboarding. They have wakeboarding trips about 5 or 6 days a week, fishing charters, kayaking, paddleboard. There's a paddleboard yoga club now. So you can really try out all of these things as frequently or as infrequently as you want. And the nice thing is it's all included in the price. So you don't have to go and pay extra. It's not summer camp where you got to pay depending on what you're doing. This is just all part of your campus experience. So down to the nitty gritty here, we do accept the common application, which I always recommend unless you're only applying at Eckerd, in which case you can just do our own application. We are going to be test optional for this coming application season. So if you're a current junior, we are test optional, which is a good thing. And a lot of people think, test optional really means test preferred, but we truly are test optional. And our early action deadline is November 15th. So our application is going to open on August 1st. And if there's anything you want to know, just please feel free to reach out to me. I am your admission counselor for all of the Carolinas. So whatever it is you need to know, just let me know. And another thing I wanted to point out is the fact that we're in the book Colleges That Change Lives. So if you think that Eckerd has a vibe that you could maybe get behind, or if you think that the small liberal arts experience might be for you, definitely check out the other 40 colleges that change lives, because they're not all similar to Eckerd. They all have things that make them unique. But it's a really powerful way to check out schools you might not have heard of. So I'll drop my contact info in the chat. Thanks so much for your attention, and think outside.
Thank you, Sam. Next up, we have Agnes College.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Faith Rashidi Yazd. I am the Admission Experience Fellow at Agnes College, and I'm super happy to share some more information about Agnes this evening. So some campus highlights, some important things about who we are here at Agnes Scott. We have just over 1,000 students who call Agnes Scott home, and they come from 42 states and 17 countries. 63% of our students identify as students of color, and there is no racial or ethnic majority on our campus. Also, 33% of our students are first in their family to go to college. We are a women's college, an inclusive women's college, so we're committed to educating women and other gender minorities. So that includes students who identify as transgender, agender, or gender fluid. We also are a liberal arts college, so teaching those transferable skills. We are Division III athletics, and we have 3 varsity sports. And our beautiful campus is located in Decatur, Georgia, which is about a 15-minute drive outside of downtown Atlanta. I want to share a little bit about our identity and kind of campus culture, and a good way to learn more about Agnes Scott is through our mission statement. So the mission of Agnes Scott College is to educate women to think deeply, live honorably, and engage in the social and intellectual challenges of our times. So I love this mission statement. It kind of is who we are and where we move from as a college and as a community. It also feels very relevant right now, but it really touches on that point that we are committed to educating women to be agents of change and to speak up and be leaders of the next generation. So how we do that is through our unique program called Summit. Summit is a program that students take part in that spans all 4 years. It's unique to Agnes Scott. It actually is part of the reason why we have been named the #1 most innovative liberal arts college for the last 3 years, which is something that we're very proud of here at Agnes Scott. But Summit touches on these 3 important ideas. So the first is global learning. Students all get to participate in an immersive global experience and also take coursework centered on global learning. Students also are learning what it means to be a leader and an inclusive leader, and taking coursework on power and privilege and all those things. And then also discovering what their professional goals are and how they're going to kind of reach those goals. We have 34 majors and 31 minors at Agnes Scott. We also have 3 dual degree programs in nursing, engineering, and computer science. Some of our top majors include psychology, neuroscience, business management, and biology. And we also have some master's pathways that are great opportunities for students as well. Some fast facts about us here in admission and financial aid as well. We are a Common App exclusive school, and we have no application fee for domestic students, including undocumented and DACA students. Here at Agnes Scott, we have a holistic review process, so there is no magic GPA that's going to get you into Agnes Scott. We're also a test optional institution, and we have been for about the last 10 years, and that includes scholarships. So for our merit scholarships, we have a range from $18,000 to $25,000, and that top tier scholarship is our Trailblazer Scholarship. So that is awarded to admitted students with a GPA of 3.75. We also work with the FAFSA for need-based aid, and we also have some special scholarships here at Agnes Scott. We would love to stay connected with y'all. If you scan the QR code, it takes you to some of our visit opportunities. We have both virtual and in-person visit opportunities right now. Feel free to follow us on social media. And we're happy that you're interested in Agnes Scott. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Faith. For our audience, I do want to mention and remind you guys that you can use the Q&A feature to ask our panelists questions anytime. So don't be shy. Make sure to put those questions in there, and then we'll get to them as soon as possible. And I'd love to turn it over to our next panelist, who is from the University of South Florida. Oh, Melissa, we still can't hear you.
Okay, let me
There we
try it
go.
one more time. Okay, great. Hi, everyone. My name is Melissa Sharrock, and I'm your admissions advisor for the University of South Florida. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I just want to give you an overview of the university and our admissions process. USF, we are a large metropolitan research university set in the Tampa Bay area of the state of Florida. So center of the state, if you go all the way over to the West Coast after that, you'll run into the Tampa Bay area, and that's where we are located. We have a lot to offer students. We have 3 campuses within the University of South Florida system. We have USF's Tampa campus, USF St. Petersburg's campus, and USF Sarasota Manatee's campus. And what I really love about this system is that it provides the opportunity for students to get an outstanding degree in a campus environment that works for them. So Tampa is our largest campus of the 3, followed by St. Petersburg, and our smallest campus is Sarasota Manatee. We are big in our total, with our total enrollment being a little over 50,000 students. Our undergraduate population is closer to 38,000. We are a very diverse university. So about 42% of our students come from diverse backgrounds. We have students who hail from all 50 states and over 141 different countries. And diversity is something that's extremely important to us. Our students come from everywhere, and they bring all of their different life experiences to campus, and we want our students to engage in that and learn from each other. We also offer over 200 different majors and concentrations to choose from. So there's a lot of choices to make in terms of your major, and a lot of great areas of study. Our location in the state is very, very is great. There's a lot of opportunities for personal enrichment, for professional development. So our students do get out and about within the Tampa Bay area, experiencing our theme parks, our warm weather, some of the country's most beautiful beaches, our cultural institutions, museums. But our students are also really active on campus as well. We have over 700 different student organizations, and we host events all year long. We are a Division I athletics program with 17 sports underneath that banner. We play in the American Athletics Conference. In addition to our majors, we also have an outstanding honors college for students to join, and we are focused on giving students research opportunities. So we are a Tier 1 research university. We provide that to our undergraduate students. So you can come in, and if you're interested in research at USF, you can come in your freshman year and participate in research, conduct your own. And we do want our students to get involved in different areas. So we do offer interdisciplinary research to students as well. We also have great access to internships. So really developing professionally, building up your resume while you're in school. So whether you choose to go into the workforce right away or into graduate school, you're a well-prepared applicant for both those paths. Education abroad is also something that is important to us, and we hope to have those up and running soon because it is a very popular option for students. We do have housing on our campus. So 2 of our campuses, so Tampa and St. Petersburg, does offer housing to students. Our freshmen aren't limited to a certain housing style. They're also not required to live on campus. So it's up to you. But we do highly encourage our students to live on campus, and our students really enjoy it. I want to switch gears for a little bit and talk about the admissions process. So this is what you need to complete your application to USF, along with our admitted freshman profile. So this was kind of the averages, the middle 50% of our students who were admitted with us. And then these are our deadlines as well. So this is kind of just a great timeline. USF is a rolling admissions university, but my #1 tip for our application process is to apply early. It sets you up well for the admissions process, but also any scholarships that you may be looking at. So this is our list of deadlines here. Speaking of scholarships, we do offer some in the Office of Admissions. So we will automatically consider you for our freshman scholarships if you are applying and completing your application by our scholarship consideration deadline. So these are the ones that we offer here. However, there are other opportunities for scholarships at USF as well. So again, importance in applying early so that you can set yourself up well for that. And then this here is our cost of attendance. So just to give you a breakdown on estimated cost of attendance with tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, and some of those other miscellaneous costs to attending college. So again, another great reason to make sure that you're looking for any of our scholarship opportunities. And then finally, I do just want to throw up my contact information. Again, my name is Melissa, and I'm your admissions advisor for USF. If you do have any questions throughout your college search process, please let me know. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Melissa. Our next panelist is going to be from Salem College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ray Celeste Tanner, and I'm an admissions counselor here at Salem College. So we, like a lot of the other colleges mentioned tonight, are a liberal arts college. We are located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the same city as quite a few other schools in the state of North Carolina. It's a booming city of art and innovation. It's the oldest women's educational institution in the United States, which was founded in 1772. So we are about to celebrate our 250th anniversary, and we're really, really proud of our history and our commitment to educating women. We are ranked the #3 liberal arts college in the state of North Carolina and 24th in the country. We're also ranked 10th in social mobility. So that's something that's really important to us. And we're all about empowering women and making sure that they are able to thrive. We have a student body of actually a little under 1,000, so a really small campus with a 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 12 to 15. So you're going to get really small classes and really get to know your professors pretty well. 42% of our students identify as people of color, and so that's another important thing about Salem. We really are committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we have some really great stats about what our students do after college. So we have a 100% acceptance rate into law school of graduates of the last 10 years, and an almost 90% acceptance rate into medical school and health-related programs. So we have just made a very large announcement that Salem College will be the nation's only liberal arts college dedicated to elevating and expanding the role of women in health leadership. So while we are still a liberal arts college, we are specifically focusing on health leadership. Now, this means that we are preparing more than just doctors and pharmacists. Within the field of health, there are a number of different disciplines that are really used. And so there are careers within policy and translation and public health and communication and ministry and education. And so we are preparing our students to be leaders in all of these different areas within the larger field of health. So this means that we have a couple new majors. We have a health sciences major, health humanities, health advocacy and humanitarian systems, and then health communication and data visualization. And so these will be really, really great opportunities for majors, for especially students who are interested in maybe public policy or going to medical school or physical therapy school or something along those lines. But even health communication is a really great major, regardless of what you think you want to do after you graduate. We also have a new minor, which is Spanish for health professions. That said, you can still choose from one of our many, many majors. We have 4 new majors. The health communication one was just approved last week, but all kinds of different majors that you can choose from, because like I said, we still are at our core a liberal arts college. So we also have learning outside of our classroom, which is really important. So 100% of our students complete internships, and we also have service learning courses. Service is a really important aspect of your Salem education. We also have cross-registration at Wake Forest University for no extra tuition. So I think this is really helpful to keep in mind if you really want to go to a small school, but you're worried about maybe not having all the opportunities for classes. If there's a class like Japanese, for example, we unfortunately, with a campus of under 1,000, we are not able to offer Japanese. But if you'd like to take that at Wake Forest, you definitely can for no extra tuition cost. We also participate in Division III athletics with 6 sports teams. And we have many different active clubs and organizations on campus that are identity-based or leadership and service, religious, arts and academic, all kinds of different clubs. So on campus, we have health leadership co-curricular activities, including yearly themed campus-wide programming, a speaker series of film screenings, art exhibits, some partnerships with nonprofits, and global living learning communities. Now, to kind of switch gears into our application process, it's really easy to apply to Salem College. So you can submit an application through the Common App, through our website. It's just salem.edu/apply, or you can go to CFNC, which is the College Foundation for North Carolina. We require a high school transcript, a teacher recommendation, and a writing sample. We are test optional, and we have been for several years. So you really don't need to submit your test scores. But if you're really proud of your test scores, or if you're worried about your GPA, I'd recommend it. But it is totally optional. And we offer rolling admissions and a free application. So the earlier you apply, the earlier you'll find out. We also can be really affordable. So we have merit-based scholarships, like our first-year merit scholarship, which is a half tuition scholarship for students who are admitted with a 3.25 or higher, and then a transfer merit scholarship with the same requirements. We also have art and music scholarships, including our Davis Art Scholarship, which is a full tuition scholarship for students who are majoring in art history or design, and music scholarships. And I'd recommend applying by December for those. We also have the Salem College Promise for North Carolina residents who are Pell eligible, and that is free tuition. So if you'd like to connect with us, please do so. We're offering in-person tours and virtual tours as well, and we'd love to get to know you. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray. We can definitely leave that up for a second if anyone wants to scan that code. Oh,
Sorry.
Never mind. All good, Ray. Next up, we have Columbia College.
Hi, guys. So hopefully this works. Can you guys see everything okay?
Yes, we can, Alexis.
Perfect. Okay. All right. I was having some technical difficulties earlier. So my name is Alexis. I am the admissions counselor at Columbia College, one of the first years in the Midlands area. So just to go over a few highlights about Columbia College, we're a small private liberal arts. We're located in Columbia, South Carolina, so right in the heart of downtown. Once again, we're fairly small as well. About 1,000 students in terms of our student body. We do have 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So that's a really high light for a lot of our students because they really enjoy that hands-on experience and just being able to have that relationship with their faculty members. We do have over 30 different majors across 5 academic divisions and also 14 athletic teams. We actually were recently an all-women's college and we recently went co-ed. So we are opening up residentially to male students this upcoming fall. We are open to commuter males currently. So I'm super excited to have this really awesome transition. I get to be a part of history and see new students come in and welcome a more diverse population on our campus. Second, we're going to talk a little bit about some of our undergraduate programs. Just to highlight a few, our most popular majors would be education, biology, anything really within the health sciences, I would say, and then business. A lot of students, again, really enjoy having that one-on-one with their professor. At Columbia College, our professors really do get to know their students and really care about their success. I personally am not an alum, but I did graduate from the master's program. And so being able to have that relationship with my professors was honestly one of a kind. I didn't really get that at my undergraduate institution. So I really loved having that here at Columbia College. But overall, we do have a brand new nursing program. It's fairly new. We partner with our technical school here in Columbia, Midlands Tech. Education, we do have 100% job placement. We started out as a teacher's college, and then anything within the business realm, we do have really great connections because we're fairly small. We also have majors within anything within the arts. So we do have studio art, music. We also have behavioral sciences, so psychology, social work. And so again, just feel free to check out because I can go on all day about our programs. Next, I'm going to talk about our athletics. So like I said, we are introducing several new athletic teams. We are introducing 4 men's sports. We do have athletic scholarships as well. And if you are looking to get recruited or if you would like to play a sport, we are competitive. We are Division III NAIA, so we are a little bit different than the NCAA. So benefit that you get at being at a smaller institution is that you're able to actually come to your admissions counselor and let them know that you are interested in playing a sport, and we can go ahead and get you connected with one of the coaches here on campus. So that's also a plus. Next, to highlight our campus life, like I said, we're located right in the downtown area of Columbia. So we have tons to offer students. In terms of outside of Columbia, we're 2 hours from the beach. We're about an hour and a half from the mountains if you want to go hiking. We're about an hour and a half from Charlotte for major shopping or an airport. We do have an airport in Columbia, but Charlotte does have an international airport. And then we also have in the area, we have the Vista, which is kind of like the older side of town, but then we have 5 Points, which is more so the college side of town, where it has all the dive bars and restaurants and coffee shops and everything. We also have Soda City, which is like our farmers market. But in terms of on campus, we also have 50 clubs and organizations. We do have suite style residence halls, so you don't have to worry about having community style bathroom, which is a huge plus for our students. And if there is a club or organization that hasn't been started or established, you are more than welcome to get it started at Columbia College. To transition a little bit to talk about the admission requirements. So minimum GPA we will accept is a 2.5 on the 4.0 scale. We are test optional as well as essay and letter recommendation optional. So we really heavily look at GPAs, or your transcripts, I should say. So your grades, your class rank, if it's available for us to see. The only time you will have to submit your test scores is for nursing, and that is because of the partnership that we do have with our technical school. They do require that for students. Unfortunately, they aren't waiving that this this year because of COVID. So we still are offering a pre-nursing track actually for our students. And that is a little bit different, but I can certainly get you more information on that if you'd like. I know looking at these requirements, a lot of students are like, oh, it's really easy to get in. And I always say it may be easy to get in. However, it's very challenging to stay here. And so that's one thing that I really like to brag about our students is that you are definitely going to be pushed academically and just really being able to get the best bang for your buck in terms of your education. Next, to talk about costs. The total cost for the whole entire institution in terms of books and your meal plan, your residence hall, your dorm, is $29,200. We do include electronic textbooks as well. So that's something that we have included for our students. So if you want a physical textbook, you can purchase it at the bookstore or rent it at a discounted rate. However, we do offer that for students. We also have tons of scholarships as well, athletic, academic, and honors programs, or excuse me, program specific. And I know my time's running out, so I'm gonna wrap up a little quickly here. But if you guys do have any questions, feel free to give me a call. Here's my contact information, or feel free to scan that QR code. It'll take you to a link tree for more information. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Alexis. Our final school to present is going to be Tusculum University.
Hi there, everybody. I am Steve Stoltz, Senior Admissions Counselor at Tusculum University. We are located in Greenville, Tennessee. Let me share my screen here and show off exactly how pretty our school can be. So we are the oldest school in Tennessee. I'm not used to not being the oldest school in a presentation, so congratulations, Salem College, for beating us out. We are the 28th oldest school in the country. We are celebrating our 227th birthday this year. And if you have any questions I don't answer on here, feel free to go to our website, tusculum.edu. I will say that we are also a small private liberal arts college, but we are also specifically what's called a civic and liberal arts university. And I'm going to spend most of my time talking about this aspect of our school because it is what makes us very unique. Our students not only are committed to community service, but community engagement and involvement. So every single major has some sort of civic engagement aspect to it, meaning not only are you going to be out serving the community, but you're also going to be out starting your own organizations. You're also going to be our business majors take part in the Chamber of Commerce. Our pre-law majors take part as part of the programs at the federal courthouse in Greenville, Tennessee. We make sure that every single major on our campus, not only are you prepared to get a job and to get be able to pay your rent when you graduate, but you're also going to be an active member of your community. So you're not just going from job to apartment, back to your job, back to your apartment. You're actually going to be able to be the positive change you want to be in the world. So wherever you end up, everybody knows the Tusculum Pioneer graduates are the ones who are able to make change because they've been doing it since they were 18 years old at our school. So we are very active in that. We do have community service requirements, but that's actually something we all do together, faculty, staff, and students. So we are located here in beautiful Greenville, Tennessee. If you've never been up in the mountains of Northeast Tennessee, it is probably the prettiest place in the world to be from. We're about 35 minutes from Pigeon Forge and Dollywood, as well as about an hour from Knoxville, Asheville, North Carolina, and Johnson City, Tennessee. We're right in the middle there. We have mountains, national forests, the Cherokee National Forest, Blue Ridge Mountains, Smoky Mountains are all in our backyard. In fact, our Student Life Services gives out free kayaks and mountain bikes to our students if they want to borrow those. Another big thing that makes us incredibly proud right now is we were recently named one of the 12 most valuable bachelor's degrees in the entire nation out of over 3,000 colleges studied. And what that means is they took the simple ratio of our average cost of attendance versus our average starting salary of our graduates, plus our success rate in placing students in careers. So Tusculum University is proud to boast that over 91% of our graduates have a full-time career within 10 years of graduating. And that puts us in the top 1% in the entire nation for colleges and universities. We are not the most affordable school. Our average cost of attendance for out-of-state students is somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000 to $18,000 per year. That includes your room and board. Our full tuition, room, meal plan, everything is around $35,000 a year. But with scholarships, like all private schools, it usually knocks it down to between $12,000 to $18,000 a year. So we and all of our scholarships are usually based solely off of your application, unless, of course, you want to get into sports or something like that. So we are also a very diverse student body. Now, one thing I didn't mention is that we only have about 1,200 undergraduate students on our campus, but we have students representing 38 states, and now it's 38 different countries as well. They made these slides before I was finished with my spring term. So we do have students from all over the world and all over the country at our tiny little school, and we're very grateful to have a very, very active student body. One of the reasons we can be so active is all of our classes are over by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we don't do classes on Fridays or on weekends. This has also led us to be a very active athletic school. So we are NCAA Division II. We have 21 different NCAA sports on our campus. And we do offer scholarships for all of those because we are NCAA Division II, so we can combine both academic and athletic scholarships. I can't talk about those directly, so you can go to our website, TusculumPioneers.com, to connect with any of the coaches. Additionally, in addition to all that, like I said, we do have a small school. We have about 600 in our master's programs as well. And one of the cool things that we're doing right now is if you want to be a business management or sports management major, we're actually starting our 3+1 program, meaning that your first 3 years at Tusculum are your bachelor's degree in those fields, and your last year is actually your master's program. So you can finish in 4 years with a master's program or the master's degree in those fields. But like I said, we are a liberal arts school as well, so we do have a number of different majors and minors. We have recently added back our theater and music majors who had to take the year off for COVID, but they are back, and they'll be back and bigger and better than ever starting next year. But we also do have the independent program of study, and so you can add pretty much any major that you see, you can combine to make the major that you want. And so in addition to all of that, we do, all of our students can take up to 3 years worth of internships that we will actually set up for you, either in the Greenville community or the Tri-Cities community here in East Tennessee, or we will set them up for you at home during the summer so you don't have to interfere with your coursework. And our graduates go on to work all over the place. Like I said, we're very proud of our success rate for our students. It is something that does set us apart. We do make sure that when you graduate, your resume is at the top of the list with research components for undergraduate research for everything from English to business to biochemistry, you name it. We cover every aspect of your majors with research and with internships. And so here on this screen, you'll see my email address and my phone number. My email address is literally just admission@tusculum.edu. I've been here a little while. You can kind of see down here in the bottom left a little bit of what our campus looks like in the gorgeous mountains. If you do have any questions, please get a hold of me. We're open for tours, and we'd love to show you more about the first school in Tennessee. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. All right, so for the rest of our session, we're going to transition into a Q&A session. So if you could give me 1 second while I get prepared, I'd love to invite back all of our panelists again. Awesome. I am all good to go. So first up, we're going to have Eckerd College. And the question at hand is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
Good question. I get this question a lot, especially at Eckerd, because people are from all over the place. So one thing I recommend to people, of course, you're going to have your pros and cons list, but come up with a list of things that you're trying to avoid at a school. You know, whether this is environment or the people around you or the lack of things around you or whatever, a list of things you're trying to not experience would be really helpful.
Awesome, Sam. That's definitely a different way that I've heard it, but thank you for the advice. Next up, we have Agnes Scott College.
Yeah, I think my advice would be to know your values and move from there. A lot of colleges, you're gonna, go to class, eat in a dining hall, make friends, things like that. But if you know your values and you know who you want to be as a person, you can look for colleges who kind of align with your values and who you are.
Absolutely. Thank you, Faith. Next up, we have the University of South Florida.
Thank you. So I agree with my colleagues here as well. I think the biggest tip that I have is try to keep yourself, a little bit organized as you're making lists for your schools and try to apply early. There's a lot that goes into the college search process, everything from finding the colleges that you're interested in, making those short lists, to the application process and all of the different ways that you can apply and what's required for those schools. And then also scholarships. We want to make sure that you're trying to bring down the cost as much as possible. So trying to just kind of stay organized, apply early to the schools that you're really interested in so that you can look for those opportunities, I think is incredibly helpful, and hopefully will make this process a little less stressful.
Absolutely. Thank you, Melissa. Next up is going to be Salem College.
Yeah, so I think any school that you look at is probably going to be a really good school. And so there are tons and tons of awesome schools, but it's really about what the best fit is for you. And so if there's a great school for one student, it might not be the best school for another. So it's all about fit. So if I were you, I'd try to visit campus and talk with students and just see if you feel like it's somewhere you could picture being at home. I think if you go to campus and you don't want to leave, that's a really good sign. And so it really has to be a good fit for you.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. Great points. Next up is going to be Columbia College.
Yeah, so Ray actually took mine. I was going to say visit campus. So I will actually continue with that one. On top of all these lists and everything, I would also suggest maybe just keeping like a small notebook or a journal just so you can keep track of everything. And when you do go visit campus, take that notebook with you. And if it does check all the boxes that you want, go back and visit again. So I'm going to encourage you to visit twice, because if it feels like home the first time and it feels like home a second time, I think you found the winner.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alexis. And then we're going to wrap up this question with Tusculum University.
I don't usually go last. So everybody said, Sam, that was, hadn't heard that advice yet. That was great. But I would say, lastly, just talk to your admissions counselors. I've been in this business for a while, as you could probably tell. I've yet to meet a bad one. We have, our job is to help you find a college, and very few admissions counselors will say that other college is terrible, you have to come to ours. We'll be very open and honest with you, and we are literally here to help. That is our job. So check your email, because we email a lot, but definitely trust your admissions counselors and find a bunch of schools, and talk to as many admissions counselors as you can.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. And thank you, everyone, for that advice. I know that this is definitely a process, so it's always really helpful to hear about what advice are coming from the people behind the desk. The next question is a little bit more fun and talking about what culture is like on campus. I definitely enjoy learning a little bit more about schools this way. So I'll invite back Eckerd College and ask, what is your favorite event and tradition on campus?
Great question. We love this one because we have so many crazy ones. Eckerd's a really weird place, but the one for this short answer is definitely Kappa Carnival. You can look it up on YouTube or Google it with 2 Ks, Kappa Carnival. It's a giant campus activities carnival that we put on campus with a Ferris wheel and all these crazy rides and live music. And it kind of caps off the spring semester. So Kappa Carnival, look it up. It was started by some students and turned into a giant thing. So it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Next up is going to be Agnes Scott College.
This is a hard question because Agnes Scott has so many traditions, and I always, I'm an alum and I loved taking part of them as a student. But one of my favorites was we have a week in the fall called our Black Cat Week, which is kind of like our homecoming week. And on one of the nights, the juniors get to write a production and put on a play basically satirical about Agnes Scott and kind of poking fun at all the quirks that we have on campus. So it's a fun night for everyone to kind of make fun of ourselves.
That is really fun. Thank you, Faith. Next up is going to be University of South Florida.
So I usually like to talk about our week of welcome because as an alum of USF and a staff member, it's just a really exciting time. Week of welcome is every week or every semester, and is just a really great way for students to get acclimated to USF, but also just have a lot of fun before the semester gets gets really going. And it's just such an exciting time of the year for students to prep for the semester ahead and just kind of decompress before getting into their classes. So that's usually my favorite, but we also just celebrated USF week a little bit ago. And I also really love USF week. It started as a day, expanded into a week, and that usually has like concerts and a whole bunch of different really fun events that really break up the semester for students to have a good time.
Awesome. Thanks, Melissa. Next up, we have Salem College.
Yeah, so we have an event called Fall Fest, and it's in the fall, and class is canceled for the day of Fall Fest, and it starts at the crack of dawn. The Winston-Salem State Marching Band, along with all of the graduating seniors, go through all the residence halls with pots and pans, and the marching band is playing, and they wake everyone up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And so then from there are skits, multiple skits throughout the day, and team chants and songs, and it ends really, really late. And by the end, everyone's just pretty much passed out because it's been a long day. But it's a really fun class, like competition between the first years and then the sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So it's a fun activity on campus. And like I said, class is canceled and all of the faculty and staff participate as well.
Thanks, Ray. That is terribly early though, but good to know. Thank you. Next up is going to be Columbia College.
Yeah, so I would say our favorite event, or my favorite tradition, is our spring fling. We typically take this day and we kind of combine it into two things. So we start out with Future Koala Day for our incoming students, and basically all the students that have confirmed up until that point will come join us, and we'll have like blow-ups on campus, basically like a spring day carnival. And then in the evening, campus turns into kind of like a prom almost 2.0. So everyone gets dressed up, everyone hangs out, there's a DJ on campus, and it's basically just kind of like a party out on our green and on the mall. And if you come visit campus, you can see what those places look like.
Thank you, Alexis. And again, we'll wrap it up with Tusculum University.
So Tusculum is home to one of Tennessee's 2 official state trees, called the Old Oak. She's 250 to 300 years old, somewhere around there. She was recently named one of the most beautiful trees in the country. And so we have the Old Oak Festival every year. It's supposed to be this week every year, and we're not doing it this year, unfortunately, because our little campus of about 1,300 students has about 15 to 20,000 visitors over the course of that week. We do student-written plays and productions. We do our band will get out there, and you can conduct the band for $1. We have bands, musicians, all the food trucks ever, and we try to center it around either our last football or our last baseball home game or something big, some kind of big event. But that's always the biggest time of year for us, and a good time to kind of blow off steam before finals start.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing, Steve. All right, folks. Well, it's always really fun to learn about these schools and to hear about all the fantastic things. So thank you so much to our panelists for being here and sharing, and also to our audience for being here and also learning a little bit more about your options going forward. With the final thoughts, I just wanted to say that once you close this window, there's going to be a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd appreciate any feedback that you could provide from us. I did hold for suspense at the beginning by saying that this is the last event. If you're interested in participating in more of these college fairs, there is a transfer fair coming up soon, so keep an eye out for it. And in about a week, you can find the session at stripescan.com/Carolinas. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a great day, evening, wherever you are.